Today we got a story time involving a bus, and I'm not really going to elaborate any further because I think you guys can read the title and you can come to your own conclusions, man. Like, I'm not going to elaborate any further. Sit back, relax, grab something to drink, grab something to eat, and let's get right into it. So the subscriber who sent in the story, by the way, submit stories to my Instagram, or just follow it if you like. You don't have to just submit stories. It's in the description, or it's Connor Pugs. We're going to call this girl Megan. She's a subscriber who sent in the story. By the way, I get these names from comments you leave. I say it every time, but I just want to remind you. Anyways, right, so Megan, she rides the bus to school. And as you can see, she had a ride that was a little bit more eventful than the average ride, if you can only, glean that from the title. But anyways, right, Megan, she rides the bus to school every day. And anyways, right, so this bus was kind of like, it was like a joint bus service. It wasn't necessarily just to Megan's school. It picked up it picked up a lot of kids on its route, and I think it dropped off to at least 2 schools. It might have dropped off to 3 even, but it all kind of worked out so they all got there on time, which, that means you have to get up pretty early to get on this bus. But anyways, right, so, there's a couple schools, and there's one that Megan went to, but there's also one that, Megan knew about, and it was a little bit, she just knew that the kids there were just a little bit sketchier. They're there was a record number of, suspensions and expulsions for that school, within the state or something. There's some kind of statistic around it that, she just kind of knew that on average the kids there just definitely got up to a little bit more trouble than the kids at her school. So anyways, right, it seemed like a normal day for Megan. She got up pretty early, brushed her teeth, got her backpack right, was waiting outside in the cold because it was 6:20 in the morning or something, or 6 in the morning, gets on the bus, and she's just expecting it to be normal day, normal routine, whatever, right? The thing is, right, Megan, she normally listens to music on the bus. It's a decently long bus ride because they have to pick up all these kids, and her school is not the first school that they drop off at. It's the second, so, she definitely has a little bit more of a bus ride to have. So she normally is listening to some music, but so Megan reaches into her pocket, and she's kind of feeling around, and she feels her phone, she feels her keys, she feels her wallet, but she doesn't feel her her earbuds or AirPods or whatever she had to listen to. So she's just great. Now I got to sit here for 30, 40 minutes in the silence, listening to everyone else be obnoxious and loud. And yeah, I don't have any music. Great start to the day. Let me just say that in retrospect, Megan thought it was pretty funny that she really thought that was going to be, the worst part of the bus ride. She really thought that the fact that she forgot to bring her AirPods or earbuds or whatever, that would have been the worst thing that would have happened on that bus. Let me just say that she very quickly was corrected in that statement. Very quickly. Anyways, right, so, they're making some stops, and, Megan's now, she's kind of looking at who's getting in the bus. She's kind of looking around, because normally she'd just be looking out the window, listening to music, or even, because it was pretty early in the morning, and she knew she was going to be on that bus for a second, right? Sometimes she'd even just, kind of close her eyes, and she wouldn't fall asleep, but she would kind of, rest a little bit. And she was sitting, moderately far in the back. She just kind of, liked being by herself. And the kids, there were kids that sat back there as well. But they kind of, focused towards the front of the bus or whatever. It was just happened to be what it was, right? So she was sitting towards the back, but not the exact back. Oh, 1 like equals 1 prayer. I'm still sick, bro. Anyways, right, so she was just kind of watching people get on, and it was kind of the same crowd every single day, and while she didn't really pay attention to the people getting on the bus normally, the bus wasn't, a crazy large bus with, hundreds and hundreds of seats. There was, a good, 40 seats, and all these seats weren't taken. It was probably, 20, 25 that used this specific bus service, right? So she was kind of just she kind of recognized the usuals, the regulars. And then all of a sudden, there's just this girl and this boy that got on the bus. And she just did not recognize them. She had just never seen them ever. And this was kind of a weird time to have new people. Because, yeah, normally there would be new people at the beginning of the school year because someone maybe just moved into the neighborhood or switched into the school. For some reason, they were using this bus service, or maybe I don't know, their parent couldn't drive them in anymore, or they moved far away enough that they couldn't walk it, or I don't know, their carpool fell through. But for some reason, it'd normally be the beginning of the year, Or yeah, there'd be new kids, but normally be beginning of the year. This was just like a really awkward time. It was like late October or something, so it just didn't make a lot of sense for like new kids to come on. But she's like, all right, whatever, like that's cool. And she was watching them walk, and they were walking right towards her. And she's like, dude, I swear to God, if you sit right next to me, because like there's like a seat adjacent to her, completely empty, seat in front of her, completely empty. But she was, Megan was vibing with her space. And she's like, bro, I swear to God, if you sit right in front of me, we're going to have a problem. Or right next to me even, we're going to have a problem. But they just walked right past Megan all the way to the very, very back of the bus, to the very, very farthest seat back. And yeah, and they go all the way back there, and Megan's like, all right, cool. Like, I don't have to worry about, like, dealing with them or having to, like, sit next to them. Like, I'm chilling now. Like, life is good. So she kind of just goes back to, like, just doing whatever. And, the bus driver closes the doors, and they go off to the next stop or whatever. And since she doesn't have any music, she's, like, really, like, tuned into all the sounds around her. And then all of a sudden, she hears this kind of, like, smacking sound. Not like a smack, but kind of like a wet smack. I don't know how to describe when someone's, like, making out with someone. I don't know how to describe that sound, so the best I can do is a wet smack, which honestly isn't even close, and it doesn't make any sense. But, dude, I'm still kind of tired. It's kind of early in the morning, so cut me some slack, man. But she turns around, because she's like, you're kidding me, dude. And, she turns around, and sure enough, they're just like, they're doing what they're doing. And she's like, bro, you can't be, like, this is a public bus, dude. Like, PDA, get out of here with that. Obviously, she didn't say anything like that because, she's not trying to pick a fight with these two kids who were, like, new and seemed a little sketchy, and it just wasn't worth her time. So all these two kids were basically just, like, sucking each other's faces off. Megan was kind of, like, peeved by this, but, like, she turned around. She's like, whatever. That's fine. Like, I can deal with that. Like, it is what it is. It's whatever, man. Like, honestly. And she just kind of goes back to chilling. And, yeah, that's when things start to take a turn for the worse. You thought that was bad? Nah. No, it gets worse, bro. Real quick, secret word is bus. So if you made it this far into the video, comment bus down below. If I have time today, which I think I'm going to be really busy, but I guess we'll see. If I have time today, I'm going to heart as many comments as I can that have bus in them, or just say bus. That actually makes it easier. But no guarantees, but please comment it either way. I really do appreciate it. And also, dude, today's your lucky day, because if you leave a like on the video, I'm generous enough that I'll actually give you nothing in return. Not even kidding. And while you're down there, make sure to subscribe. I post stories every single day. Anyways, right, how does this get worse? Connor, this sounds pretty bad for Megan already. She's having a tough day. No AirPods, AirPods, or music device or whatever. Now these kids are coming on with all this PDA. Like, how could it get worse? You are so naive, bro. It gets worse. You're about to see. So anyways, right, Megan is just kind of like turned around, minding her own business, whatever. And then she hears a different set of sounds. And you know what? YouTube has not thunderbolted my videos yet. And the reason I think is kind of because I don't go into detail, and it's really left open to interpretation. I honestly think that's better for the safety of the channel, because these stories are fun to tell and you guys like them, but I gotta be a little discreet when I'm telling them, right? So yeah, a different set of sounds. And it was a different set of sounds in a sense that it would be alarming if you heard this, bro. Like, you'd be like, oh, where am I? Like, dude, did I stumble to someone's freaking bedroom, bro? Did I stumble into, like, I don't know, like, after school, like, into a classroom or something? Actually, don't do anything in school, guys. Pay attention. Just do class in school, bro. Trust me. Anyways, right, she's just like, what? She's like, my ears are deceiving me, dude. Like, no shot. She turns around, looks behind her, and yeah, sure enough, she gets like a 1-second glance, and the sound that she thought she was hearing was confirmed, was verified. What is that sound? I don't know, dude. I'm just not going to go into it. But she turns around quickly, and she's like, what the fuck? Like, what did I just see? Like, there's literally no shot. I just saw what happened, like, actually happening. Like, there's no chance that's legit. So, right, at this point, she's done, bro. She's just like, this is insane. Like, this day has gotten worse and worse and worse, and there's just like, how could this get worse? Obviously, worst thing to say ever, because like, she's sitting there just trying to like ignore all the, all the sounds or whatever, and the subscriber's just like not having it right now. And then all of a sudden, she starts to hear yelling coming from the front of the bus, and she's realizing it's the bus driver, and the bus driver is like, hey, you two. And all of a sudden, right, the bus stops. And here's the thing, like, you know, the subscriber kind of knew all of the spots that they normally stopped at. So when she realized that this was not one of the normal spots, she started to realize that, oh my God, something's up here, dude. Like, something is going on. And yeah, something was going on. And turns out that the bus driver stopped the bus and yelled, "You two back there, get out of here." And then, like, the guy who, like, obviously got back into, like, kind of got clothes and stuff and whatever. I'm not even going to go into it, but he's kind of, like, getting that stuff back together. He's like, "Dude, why? Like, we weren't even doing anything. We're not near our school." And the bus driver's like, "Don't you F with me." I'm trying to keep ads from. "Don't you mess with me, dude. Like, I saw what I saw. That's messed up on my bus. Get out here. I don't care if, like, it's not near the school. You two are blacklisted and never allowed back on this bus." And the guy was like, "Dude, no, come on. Just bring us to the school, right?" And the bus driver's like, "If you don't get off this bus right now, I'm going to report this to your school and get you both expelled." And they're like, "Okay, shoot." Because the girl and the guy were like, "Okay, we're not trying to do that, right? Like, this sucks, but, like, whatever." So they're like, all right, we're so sorry, sir." And he's like, "Get off my bus." So the girl and the guy walk past Megan, and she's just, like, in total shock at this point, just listening to this whole thing go down, this whole, like, absolute fiasco, right? And, you know, they go to the front of the bus, they get off in the base, not the middle of nowhere, right? It's all kind of in the, actually, it's kind of far. Like, they're probably gonna have to call an Uber. They're probably gonna have to call their parents if they can't get an Uber, right? If there isn't, like, a lot of, like, service in that area, or they just don't have the funds or whatever. But yeah, they got kicked off the bus, and after that, the bus driver just kept going. And, you know, Megan normally, like, there was a bit of, like, ambiance noise, like, people were kind of chatting before this thing went down. Let me just say that no one was saying, after this thing went down, no one said a word. It was dead silent. And yeah, Megan got off at her stop, and she got on the next day. The next day, she remembered her AirPods, and those two were not on the bus, and they were never on the bus again. Subscribe if you haven't already, and now go watch another video. There's some on screen, some on the sidebar. Watch it, or I'll be very sad. I don't know.